Welcome to the Laurent Collective podcast, where we go deeper than just surface talk.
Each week, we'll explore everything from family, business, creativity, culture, and faith.
To make sure not to miss an episode, be sure to subscribe and hop on to Instagram at Laurent Collective to chat with us about this episode.
Hello. We are wrapping up this podcast for the year. And it's weird. We just realized we started the podcast this year. This year feels just as long as 2020 in many ways.
I think you were like, wait, was it this year or last year?
I was for sure we started it last year.
So we've only been doing this since April.
Apparently that's how long we've been doing it. Yeah.
And yeah, I think we're just so thankful that you guys have been listening. And this has been such a fun adventure. And we're really looking forward to the new year and just thinking about, a lot of stuff with the podcast. And so we're really excited for you guys to continue this journey with us.
Exactly. So yeah, thanks for listening. And thanks for so many of you have told us you pass these podcast episodes on to friends and stuff like that. We do want to remind you, a little plug here. If you can, rate and review,
yes.
Do the stars and review. That does help other people find us. That is the only reason we're asking that. And so if you haven't done that yet, you can go on and do that. It is a little bit hard to figure it out because I know when I have listened to other podcasts. So if you need to Google how to do it, you can do that. But there's a little bit of clicking going on, especially if you're and it's basically an Apple Podcast app that you do that. So we would so appreciate that if you did that. And we want to let you know too, we last week we talked about rest and that kind of thing, and our family is entering into that time. And so we are taking off the next couple of weeks. We will not be recording new podcasts. And so you won't hear our voices until the new year.
Yep.
And we'll start back up on the 12th of January. We'll have a new podcast episode for you. So in the meantime, though, we'll still, we won't be checking it a lot. But if you have things that you want to hear from us in the new year and that kind of thing, do send us. The best way is usually an Instagram direct message or on Facebook or something. And let us know what you want to learn or what you want to hear about. And we'll make sure to include that in some of our upcoming episodes. But we just want to say thank you so much for listening and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And don't worry, we're still recording, but we are going to take 2 weeks off and just, and hopefully you can enjoy your time with friends and family during that time too. And just because one of my things in being in rest and stuff that I'm trying to do better at is writing a bit more. And so I wrote something that was more for myself as I was taking time to journal the other day. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to read it to all of us because I feel like some of us might need to hear this right now. So, so this is just something we thought we would end the year with. And hopefully it's encouraging to you, or it's something you can listen to when you need it, or that kind of thing as you enter into the next couple weeks. Take a deep breath. Now take another. As we enter into this Christmas week, remember to stop. It's not about things being perfect. It's not about every tradition continuing. Stop because we need to. We can't run full speed every single day. Stop because our bodies need it, and rest is more important than the to-do list. Stop because your loved ones, family, and friends need to see you rest too. Maybe you are in a season where you don't have a choice but to work long hours and your livelihood depends on it. Are there some moments you can take to stop, to breathe, to take another breath, to reach out to another and ask for help? This week is not meant to make you exhausted. This week is meant to remember the quiet night that the world was preparing for a joyful morning. A morning that brought to this world a person who would show love like no other, a person who would rock the systems in place, who would look at women with respect and honor, who would seek out those on the edges, and who stopped himself in the middle of his work to rest. Whether you have 10 days or just 5 minutes, stop and breathe. Breathe in that love and hope. Thanks for joining us on today's episode of the Laurent Collective podcast. If you enjoyed today's podcast, be sure to subscribe and leave a review, which helps others find our podcast. Continue the conversation with us over on Instagram at Laurent Collective.
We look forward to going deeper than just surface talk with you again next week.